I'm sorry, but neither Roger and Kathleen can come to the phone right now. But please do leave a message and we'll call you back as soon as possible. Hello, this is Leatherbridge 4960590. I'm sorry, but neither Roger and Kathleen can come to the phone right now. But please do leave a message and we'll call you back as soon as possible.
Dad! Come in.
How's your head?
Recovered, thank you. Listen, Karen, about Friday night...
You had it, didn't you?
I don't usually.
It's about time you let your hair down.
So how was your weekend?
It's really good.
Oh, yeah?
Well, let's say that me and Rob had a bit of catching up to do. I think he found my new role as Major Crime Buster a bit of a turn-on.
I'm not surprised. It isn't every day you go around wearing a major vice ring, is it?
Rob said that Joe Meredith would go bad one day. They're not quite that bad.
There was me, oblivious to it all.
Well, you were getting jiggy on the dance floor with Dave. I thought you might go home with him.
Do you know, I would have done, till I found out there was a Mrs. Dave.
Oh. Did Jimmy get back all right?
Yeah, I spoke to him over the weekend.
Good. Because the other night, before it all kicked off, I really upset him.
It's comforting.
You don't seem that comforted to me.
I just get a little overwhelmed sometimes.
Well, how do you think it makes me feel? Hearing her speaking every time I ring.
I'm sorry, I didn't think.
You're not the only one struggling with all this, Dad.
I've tried to get on with things just as they were.
What, laying two places? What's that all about?
You know your mother and I liked our routines. You can't expect me to stop just like that.
I can't stand by and watch you do this to yourself, Dad. I think you should see a doctor.
I'm fine, really.
No, you're not. You're a mess. I'll take the morning off work and see if we can get you an emergency appointment at the mill.
There's really no need.
Yes, there is. I've had enough. It's about time you started to pull yourself together.
I was surprised he told you, because normally he doesn't like talking about it.
Well, I forced it out of him in a nice way.
I can imagine.
I didn't want him to be on his own with it.
Well, by and large, I think he handles it really well.
Yeah, but if he could get rid of it, if he could stop the hand washing...
He has tried.
He'd save a fortune in soap. Now, really, I know that this is a big deal for Jimmy. I also know I've probably blundered into things all wrong, but I really want to help him if I can.
Well, no one's doubting that.
And he's the last person in the world that I want to upset.
So how does it work again, this...
Immersion and exposure therapy. Well, you force yourself to confront what scares you the most, and then the more you do it, the less frightening it becomes.
I can see the logic of it. I'm just not sure if it's right for Jimmy.
Well, will you at least read these? There's loads of stuff out there. I've been on the internet.
You have been busy, haven't you?
I really think that this is what Jimmy's looking for, and if you backed me up, he'd be more likely to listen.
Well, let me have a read of it and then we can talk later.
Thank you, Julia.
Pork pie?
Well, men like pork pies. Well, Rob does anyway.
Okay.
If you don't want it,
Oh, no, I'll savour every mouthful with chips and ketchup.
stop it. I felt bad about the other night. I didn't mean to upset you.
Nah, it's forgotten. Nearly getting arrested helped with that.
I thought you were very convincing.
I was a paedophile, thanks very much.
Sorry.
Police were after him for a while, apparently.
So we're mates again.
Yeah, I think we always were.
Good. Because if you have second thoughts, I've got to let you
Yeah,
change.
thanks. No, thanks.
Sorry. Can I help?
Roger Parnell. I phoned earlier to see Dr. Clay.
Roger, so sorry to hear about Kathleen.
Thank you. We were so grateful for everything you did towards the end.
Just doing my job.
Everyone's been so kind.
Would you like to come through?
Is it all right if I come too? I'm his daughter.
Is that okay with you, Roger?
Whatever you think is best.
She had another stroke. It was a relief at the end after all the suffering. But he's taken it very hard.
Of course.
It would have been our 40th anniversary next week. I'd bought her a present. A ruby ring.
I'm sure she'd have loved it, Dad.
Do you think so?
I'm trying to get him to look at the positives.
Well, it is tough, losing somebody.
Well, at least you've got the house back. After all those nurses and carers traipsing through the place every 5 minutes.
At least they were there.
I did my best, Dad. I thought you'd be glad to get back to your old routines.
But most of them involved your mother. And now she's not there. There's just such an emptiness.
It does get easier, trust me.
So they say. But that point when life becomes bearable again, it seems such a long way off. I'm not sure I can get there without her.
Gotcha.
What are you doing? I found a rolled up newspaper does just as well, actually.
Oh, they don't bother me. I was going to pop him outside.
Yeah, well, it's a shame that Jimmy can't put his troubles in a jar and pop them outside, isn't it?
Did you read that stuff?
I did, actually, and to be honest with you, I'm really impressed.
I knew you would be.
I didn't realise the therapy had been so successful.
Oh, do you think it'll help Jimmy?
I'll certainly talk to him.
Good, because he listens to you.
He listens. Whether he acts on what I say is a different matter altogether. Mind you, you've got to make sure that he doesn't think we're ganging up on him, because if he thinks that it's him against the world, no chance.
I can't believe what you said back at the doctor's.
About what?
About me not being there for you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Well, how did you mean it to sound then?
I'm grateful for everything you've done, of course I am.
It's manic at home at the moment. The kids need me 24/7. Jack's job's gone crazy. My office think they owe me. I haven't got enough hours in the day to do everything.
I know.
How do you think it makes me feel having to open in public like that? Shh. What do you mean, shh?
We didn't leave the radio on, did we?
No, I distinctly remember you checking it twice.
There's someone in there.
I'm going to call the police.
If it touched any of your mother's things, I won't have it I won't have it. Oh, Edith. I'm so sorry. I'm so
My
sorry.
fault, really. What were you doing here in the first place?
The ironing, isn't that obvious?
What did you ask her to?
No.
I was worried about Roger. That's not really your business anymore, though, is it? It was your job to look after my mother.
Well, I thought he might need some help, and then I saw the pile of ironing.
You had no right to break into the house.
Leave her alone, will you, Mary? Can't you see she's in pain?
No, I'm fine, really.
Nonsense. We must get you to the hospital immediately. You'll have to drive us.
It's on the other side of Lethbridge.
I'll be okay.
See?
We'll go back to the doctor's. It's closer. I'm sure they'll have a nurse who will see you.
Dad, I have to get back to work.
After everything this woman did for your mother,
All right.
just drop us there, then you can get back to your precious office. Come on, we'll soon get you patched up.
Oh, I understand that you and Karen had a bit of a bust-up.
Yeah, it's all okay now, though.
Oh, that's good. She did tell me what it was about.
She doesn't mean having to go at you too, is she?
Oh, no, actually, she gave me these papers to read. I've got to say, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, immersion therapy. I've looked into it before. When I was diagnosed, I talked about it with my therapist.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but nothing's changed. I thought it was rubbish then, I still do now.
Well, it seems to have helped a lot of other people.
Good for them.
How do you know it won't work for you?
But I just know.
Oh, you may be right, of course.
Thanks.
On the other hand, though, you could have been managing your OCD on your own for so long that you've closed your mind to the possibility that there might be another way. That's just a thought. I could be wrong.
Right, see you later. Keeping pets now, are we?
Oh, no, I'm going to put that outside.
Oh, I'm scared of a little spidey.
I hate them. I had to get Julia to catch that for me.
So, would that be your idea of immersion therapy, jumping into a pit of spiders?
Hey, tell you what. I'll do your deal.
Go on.
You go for your OCD therapy, and I'll come along too and confront me 8-legged demons.
Really?
Oh, mate, and I don't want you to think you've got to go through this on your own.
Excuse me, we have to see a nurse or someone. It's an emergency.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Well, I'm sorry, but all our nurses are busy.
But she needs to see someone, Dr. Clay. She's burnt herself.
Well, if it's a burn, she really should go to St. Phil's.
I can have a quick look.
Oh, God, what about your other patients?
I'm just supposed to be catching up on paperwork.
Oh, don't let me stop you.
I hate paperwork. Come on.
You can go now if you want.
Oh, it's all right now I'm here.
So, how did this happen?
Oh, well, I was doing some ironing for Roger.
Oh, it doesn't look too serious.
No, that's what I kept trying to tell him.
Sorry, remind me, who are you exactly again?
I'm Evelyn. Evelyn Fontaine.
Yeah, of course. I'm Dr. Clay, Jimmy.
Right, yeah. I work for the care agency and I helped look after Kathleen in the last few months.
She's a very special lady.
She's one of the best. I liked her a lot. And Roger too.
So, he kept you on afterwards?
No. I did offer, but he said he could cope.
Then, if you don't mind me asking, why were you in his house, ironing?
Letting yourself in like that.
She was only trying to help.
How'd she get in?
She had her own key.
She should have given that back. How dare she just march in like that?
I don't mind.
I think we should call the police.
Whatever for?
It's trespass. You've been very vulnerable since Mum's death, Dad. Anyone could take advantage.
Not Evelyn.
Why not? If she's got the brass neck just to let herself in when you're not at home, who knows what she's capable of?
When it goes with the territory. Your patient passes on, it's on to the next job. You'd know all about that.
Well, I think it's a bit different for doctors. I mean, it's sad when you lose a patient, but often we don't get to know them as well. You have time to build a relationship.
Yeah, I'm used to it, of course, but this time... They kept pulling me back.
What do you think that was? Is it Roger?
You're surely not suggesting she has amorous intentions towards me?
Well, why not?
But she's married.
So she says.
Of course she is, Arthur. Very nice chap. He's been to the house a couple of times.
So he could size the place up. Maybe he's on it too.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Is it? It wouldn't be the first time that a lonely old man's been targeted by a scheming younger woman.
No, you're wrong. Totally and utterly wrong.
Well, people don't really think that, do they?
Well, some people can be very quick to rush to judgment.
Mary never liked me. It's not as if she...
Go on.
No, I'm sure she loved her mother in her own way, and Roger too. But she was never there.
And you were?
Every day I watched her slip away. I saw Roger's devastation.
Yeah, it is tough, losing someone.
You sound as if you're speaking from personal experience. It's none of my business.
No, it's okay. Keep it clean and dry, and if it hurts, take some paracetamol, but you should be fine in a few days.
And what about Roger?
Well, it might take a bit longer, but he'll be fine.
Is that based on personal experience?
Yes. It's also my considered opinion as a doctor.
Well, perhaps I do need to step back. I don't want to come between Roger and Mary. I mean, she might not be perfect, but she is his daughter.
Listen, Dad, I'm not trying to upset you.
She cared.
We all did, Dad. We all did our best. I still do. I care about you and I don't want to see you hurt.
Evelyn is a good woman.
Okay. Maybe she is. Maybe I'm wrong about her. But I don't want to run that risk. You said yourself you don't need her anymore.
I know.
It's not surprising that you're going to form an attachment with someone when they share those difficult times.
She was there at the end.
And that should have been the end. For her too. You have to let her go, Dad. For your own sake.
If you think that's for the best.
I do, Dad. I really do.
I'll tell him I won't be coming again.
Well, maybe you should discuss it with him first.
No, I don't want to make a fuss, really. I think it's for the best.
For who?
Well, for Roger, of course.
Look, I've met a lot of people like you. Life's carers, people who always put the other person first, which means you always put yourself second, which means you never really get what you want.
Is that from personal or professional experience?
Both.
Is that what happened with the person you lost?
It's complicated. But it did make me stop and think about what I really wanted in life.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks.
If the dog's willing to learn.
Were you?
Yeah, in some ways, yes. In others, I still have a way to go.
I think it would be nice to get what I wanted sometimes. It's just I don't know how to go about it.
Why, you need to be more specific. What is it that you really want?
Well, I would like to see Roger as a friend. See if he's okay.
Okay, good. Well, now you've established what you want, you just have to work out what you have to do to get it.
Is it that simple?
Yep.
For you too?
How are you?
No need to go to hospital.
Good.
Thank you so much for bringing me here. I know how busy you must be.
You're welcome.
And thank you for seeing her at such short notice and for fixing her up.
Oh, I didn't do anything really.
Yes, you did. Roger, I've been thinking.
So have I.
Go on.
I was very flattered that you came to see me today. Yeah, and thank you so much for doing all that ironing. How much do I owe you?
Nothing.
No, please, I think it's important that we keep things on a business footing. Don't you?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
That should cover the time you've put in.
Thank you.
But from now on, I think it's better that you don't call round anymore. I think it's for the best, don't you?
Well, if that's what you really want.
Yes, it is.
Right. Let's got that settled. Can I give you a lift somewhere?
No, that's really kind of you, but I think I'll take the bus.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, goodbye, Roger.
You will keep in touch, won't you?
Dad, she's a very busy woman. I'm sure she's got plenty of clients who really need her help. Haven't you?
Yes.
Well then, you sure you don't want that lift?
No, thank you. Bye, Roger.
Goodbye.
Well, that was all pretty painless. Oh, look, I'll come and see you whenever I can, Dad.
Maybe you could come round this afternoon. We could go through some of your mother's things.
I do need to make an appearance at work.
Of course. How about tomorrow night?
It's Helen's school concert.
Oh. Maybe I could come too.
Well, that would be great. But it's sold out. I didn't think you'd be interested. Look, I'll pop in at the weekend.
That long?
Saturday morning, and we'll put some things in the diary then. Can I give you a lift?
If it's not too much trouble.
I'll just pop to the loo first. Now, don't go away.
I'll wait outside.
It's been quite a day for you, isn't it?
It's such a shame about Evelyn. I was going to ask her if she could do a few hours a week for me.
So why didn't you?
Mary's concerned that Evelyn might be some sort of gold digger.
Well, I'm not sure she's the type.
Not that I'd be interested anyway. No one could replace Kathleen.
I'm sure.
Though I must confess I could do with someone to help with the ironing.
Well, you could always give her a trial. If she's after your fortune, I'm sure Mary will soon sniff her out.
It's too late now, even if I wanted to.
Is it? We've just had a very interesting chat, Evelyn and I, about how it can help if you change the way you look at things. Sometimes it's the only way that you can really see what's best for you.
Okay, then. Let's get cracking. Got a million things to do.
Actually, dear, if you're in a hurry, I can make my own way home.
Oh, it's not a problem.
You've enough on your plate without worrying about me every minute of the day.
If you're sure.
Positive, you've done more than enough for one day.
Okay, then. Take care, Dad. I'll call you later.
Thanks again, Doctor. You've been very helpful.
Good luck.
Thank you. And good luck to you, too. I'm sorry to startle you.
It's all right.
Only I have a little proposition for you.
Free at last.
Made you a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you. Hiya.
Tea?
Nah. Right, the immersion therapy.
Yeah?
I'll give it a go.
Well, good for you.
So, what exactly does this entail?
Well, I suppose you've got to get used to getting down and dirty. The more you do it, the anxiety will lessen and you won't feel the same compulsion.
Okay.
You don't have to do it on your own, remember?
Well, you're going to come along with me?
If you want me to.
Well, and do the spider thingy?
Well, it's the least I can do. I've banged on about it often enough.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can't carry on living my life in fear. Shall I ring her?
Can I help you?
Get it!
So, you know where girls before? I connect with people, whoever I find fascinating.
Do I need to spell it out? Belinda, we slept together last week.
Well, yeah, but
I could have passed it on to you.
I've been thinking about your report and what goes in it.
And why don't you believe me?
Oh, why should I?
Because she's only in it for a laugh, but I care about you.
Neighbourhood Watch for Dr. Sloan next here on BBC1 Scotland and Diagnosis Murder on the Beach.